Welcome back, video creeps. Sometimes your boy gets the heebie-jeebies. I get freaked out. My little horror desensitization badge, it gets stripped. It's compromised. It's not always there. Every now and again, I get snuck up on. So here's 4 films where I got got on these films. It's true. But before we get into that, leave me a little thumbs up on this video, and then leave me 4 movies that you got on. What are 4 movies that scared you? And at the end of the video, we can compare and contrast. We'll take notes. All right, let's dig up some trauma. You want to talk about real fear, actual let's talk about fucking red rooms for a second. Maybe you're normal. Maybe you don't know what red rooms are. Super quick summary. A red room is where everything is painted red and you step inside and your eyes end up settling and shit, right? And then when you step out of the room, you're able to see the full spectrum of color, kind of like a mantis shrimp. You unlock all 16 color receptors in the human eye. Whereas normally the human can only see 3 color receptors and then we make magic.
Mate, it's a bit boring to be honest.
Isn't that dope? Wouldn't that be nice? It's not what a red room is. Sorry. A sweet thought, but no. Red rooms are basically a hidden service or a website that you find online, specifically the dark web, where you can participate in the live torture and murder of an individual if you got the right bank. And if you were me at the beautiful age of 10 years young, this premise alone was enough to deeply disturb me. I could just get kidnapped and fucking someone's gonna pay to fucking just chop my arm off. They paid $30,000. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But see, Cradle of Fear took this endeavor to the highest level that it could be by viewing it through the perspective of someone who loves it. This dude becomes obsessed with red rooms, and we just follow this journey where he stumbles upon it and then spends the rest of his time trying to re-find the red room. That idea, just the fact that there are human beings out there who are playing a hand in this online snuff game, that shit is chilling, man. Now, of course, looking back, Cradle of Fear it wasn't done excellently. It's far from the best looking film.
I did my best.
But that idea, that's fucky. And if you've never heard of it, if you've never seen it before, to see it and learn that for the first time, it's bad. And I think it fucked me up as a person, because then a bunch of research followed, a bunch of learning about red rooms and shit happened. And if you've never heard of this before, I'm sure I just fucked up your life. So enjoy, or I'm sorry. It depends. However you take that L. All right, I get it. It's not a conventional horror film like how horror films are. I get that, right? Or maybe it is. Maybe it is a traditional horror film, right? Monsters, aliens are a type of monster, and what's more traditional than fucking monster horror films, right? So, suck my cock. No, by and large, this movie, it's not scary. Mel Gibson roasting God for an hour and a half while people sit way too close to their TV and wear literal tinfoil hats. Yeah, I don't know. I fucking call me crazy. I think I can handle it.
Fuck up! You should just fucking smile and blow me! Cause I deserve it! You apologize for nothing?
Stop.
Well, then you're a dishonest cunt! And if you will not fucking admit that, get the fuck out! Then I will make your goddamn life miserable. Alright?
You need medication.
What?
You need medication.
I need a woman! Not a fucking little girl with a fucking dysfunctional cunt!
But, this movie had quite the girthy wiener on it. And it's not the whole film. It's just this one fucking scene just snuck right in the midsection of it. It's when you see that alien just casually walk past at a fucking birthday party. Something about it. Maybe it's the dramatic music that plays, or just the fact that I was not expecting to see an alien in that moment in my life. I had expectations and then they weren't met at all. But I remember watching that scene as a child. I was with my mother and I was with my sisters, and I remember being so creeped out by that scene that I just bawled. I was unconsolable. Consoling took place.
I literally could not stop crying.
And how could it not, man? I don't know about you, but I am my cockiest self when it comes to my birthday. If your grandmother dies, on my birthday, at the end of the day, it's still my birthday. That is the historical importance of what happened that day. In fact, the proper way to say that is like, oh, my grandmother died on Michael's birthday. Now, the existence of aliens crashing my party, that's not the ambiance that I want. That's not the vibe. Unless they come with like a fucking, like a gift or something. Like I guess there's a way that aliens could come to my birthday party and it work, but it better be some fucking gift, something dope, like space cake, fucking a better piñata than the one that's already there. The point is, don't fuck up my birthday with your fucking alien shit, man. I highly doubt that that's why I was scared of this scene as a little kid, but like, I don't know, that's my brain now. That's where I want a good birthday, which is coming up, May 30th, jot it down. I have been camping exactly 2 times in my life. I mean, I went to Camp Moriah, but that wasn't really camping. That doesn't count. It was pretty bouge. I grew up a poor kid, like fucking all you can eat bacon. I didn't even know you could string those words together. But Camp Moriah, fucking reality.
I still love you.
But other than that, just hanging out in the woods, like, yeah, I just did that twice. And both times, the presence of fear was well accounted for. It's fuck camping, man. Like that isolation, the unfamiliar place where the threat of animals and like tiny sounds are bountiful. That shit's just not my bag. Call me a fucking lush. I like TVs and beds and shit. You know, I like it. I have a thing for being in a house. There's just too many variables in the woods and shit. You know, like I'll do everything that I need to do for bears, and then I have a fucking like a boar problem. Also, the kind of people that just hang out in the woods, like that's what they do. That's where they like to be. I'm not talking about like other campers. I'm talking about just like woods people. I don't like it. Just don't do it. You ever spoken to those? There's no social skills. Like they don't have the cues. They don't do the right things. Fucking blink when you talk to me. You know, fucking do head nods. You know, let me subliminally know that you and I are on the same fucking level. Don't just dead eye stare at me. You know what I mean? But you take all that shit and then you add a fucking witch? No bueno, man. Witches, they have a bad rep, especially in the 90s. They were fucking stealing kids, trying to fucking destroy Halloween Town. Shit was bad news bears. Sure, we got like fucking Instagram witches now and shit, like putting mustard on string. Back when this movie came out, witches fucking meant something. In a movie, it just fucking played fear different. Even like the victims that we follow in this movie aren't like sex obsessed, obnoxious, like stoners with fucking nasty attitudes and shit like you see in every other horror movie. This felt like just believable, like college students just doing their shit with the mix of like this setting and this urban legend that they're going after and given to us in this format that in no way at the time was overdone. It was creepy as fuck, and I did not like the way that it felt when the movie ended. I just didn't like, why are you standing in the corner, man? Now it feels really disheartening to see the way that people talk about the Blair Witch today. Because I remember the Blair Witch and like the culture shock that it had. The way people shit on Blair Witch now, it feels like a town that got like ripped to shit by werewolves in like the 60s. But then a couple generations passed and now they're just like, man, fuck werewolves. They pussy, you know what I'm saying? And they forgot that fear. Like they don't know that werewolves are still super fucky. But at some point, those werewolves, they were a big fucking deal. That's the Blair Witch. I don't know, I just don't like the disrespect being thrown around for such a fucking important film. Like motherfucker, like people didn't even know if this shit was real. You don't even see this bitch the whole movie long. It's another monster movie, but you don't fucking see the monster at all. It just plays on paranoia, and if you don't know what you're getting into when watching that film, you're gonna go in unprepared and you're gonna fuck yourself. You're gonna get scared. I don't know why this movie had such a fucking effect on me. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe it was just like an isolated incident. Like it just got me on the right day where I thought of all the right things to set me up to be scared. But yo, this movie gave me the fucking spooks something awful. Like I watched this movie under like the perfect circumstances. My youngest son was going like somewhere with my ex-wife. I had the house to myself for the very first time in like years. And to celebrate, I went full Home Alone kid mode.
I made my family disappear.
Like I turned off all the lights in the house, fucking put a blanket over my head, and I sat really close to the TV where like, you know, it was still a respectable distance to still enjoy the film. It wasn't like God, I have to watch it up. Like, you know, like a packed movie theater, you get there late and you're in the front. Like, it wasn't that. Turn on this movie and I just let it do whatever it wanted to do to me. And boy, did it. I was like that one picture with the white girl sitting on the couch around all the black guys, you know? See, now, Sinister is an interesting little film because the methods of murder are not supernatural, though there is a supernatural element present, and that's a mind fuck. It's not like people levitating and then like exploding to bits. It's like motherfuckers being tied down to like patio furniture and then being like kicked into a pool. It's like a very like a human, like I'm scared of humans scary. Like motherfuckers who put babies in pillowcases and shit. Now, of course, we all go on to learn why that human element is so present with this film. But even so, the ride to learning why is super fucky. And I think you really feel for Ethan Hawke's character in this movie too, especially because he's come so far from Reality Bites, where I like to pretend that they're the same character just for like additional funsies for me.
Okay, so future editing Michael here. It also would be interesting if from here he went on to like fucking be the guy from Black Phone. That's just a really interesting villain arc. And like I know like he dies at the end of Sinister and shit, but like if he had survived, right? He would have a reason for doing what he does to those kids in the Black Phone. It's not a great reason, but you know.
But shit, and then fucking Bagul. Bagul is like a bad looking dude. Like his reveal in this movie when you see him in like the videos and shit, startling at the least. As a good design for like a scary like NECA, jump on, I want one. You pair all of that with like the psychological stress that's going on throughout this film, and it leans into this perfectly notable freaky little movie that to this day still fucking lingers in the back of my head. And there you have it. Those are 4 films that just fucking, they got down to the root of me and fucked me up. Now, of course, I can watch all these movies now and be totally fine. There are certain films that like, they're hard passes for me. And I could totally make that video if that's something that you wanted to see. But those are like fucking, those are very disturbing films. But did any of my movies make your list? Let me know down in the comments below. And of course, if you want to support the channel, support the video, go ahead and throw a like on this video. Another reminder for you. That's going to be it for this video. Peace, video creeps.